Let's be honest. Most men don't realize they're being manipulated until after they've already lost respect, lost leverage, and lost their frame. It starts small. She ignores a text, then comes back like nothing happened. She gives affection, then pulls it away. She twists conversations so you feel guilty, even when you did nothing wrong. And here's the dangerous part. You start questioning yourself. You try to explain more. You chase clarity. You lower your standards just to keep the peace. That's not love. That's manipulation. And narcissistic behavior feeds on one thing only: your emotional reaction. Today I'll show you how a Stoic man handles this, without arguing, without chasing, without becoming cold or bitter. Not theory, not quotes. Practical mindset. Real control. Because here's the truth. When you react like most men do, you hand over your power. When you act like a Stoic, you keep it. 1. What narcissistic behavior really looks like without the buzzwords. Here's the thing. Most people think narcissism means loud arrogance or ego. Wrong. In dating, narcissistic behavior is subtle. It looks like hot and cold attention, withholding affection to gain power, making everything about their feelings, never taking accountability, turning your boundaries into attacks, playing the victim when confronted. And the biggest sign? They reward emotional weakness and punish emotional strength. The moment you stop reacting, explaining, or chasing, they feel threatened. Because narcissistic behavior needs control, not connection. What this really means is simple. If you stay emotionally reactive, you stay controllable. If you stay grounded and unshaken, you stay untouchable. Think about it. The same woman who tests you with anger, guilt, or withdrawal will mirror your calm. Your frame becomes the measure of the relationship, not hers. 2. Why most men lose to manipulation. Let's break this down honestly. Men lose to manipulation for 3 main reasons. 1. They try to be understood. You think, if I explain myself better, she'll see my intentions. Manipulators don't misunderstand you. They understand you perfectly and use it. Here's the harsh truth. Explaining yourself to someone trying to control you is like handing a weapon to your opponent. Every justification, every apology, every attempt to clear the air becomes fuel for them. 2. They fear losing access. You tolerate disrespect because, what if I lose her? That fear makes you negotiable. Negotiable men don't get respect. They get temporary compliance at best. Respect is never won by fear of loss. It's earned by not being dependent on reaction. 3. They mistake emotional distance for cruelty. You've been told, being distant is toxic. Wrong again. Uncontrolled emotional distance is toxic. Controlled emotional distance is power. Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's about being unmovable. You can care without being compromised. You can respond without reacting. The key is understanding the difference between detachment and indifference. Detachment is strength. Indifference is weakness disguised as power. 3. The Stoic shift. Control what you can. This is where Stoicism actually matters. A Stoic man understands one rule. You cannot control behavior, only your response. Narcissistic people try to drag you into their emotional storm. They want reactions, justifications, emotional investment. The Stoic response is not anger, not withdrawal, not lectures. It's calm non-participation. You don't fight the storm, you step out of it. This doesn't make you weak. It makes you untouchable. Because no one can manipulate a man who doesn't give them the strings to pull. 4. How Stoic men handle manipulation in real time. Let's get practical. Scenario 1. She gaslights you. She says, "You're overreacting, that never happened." Most men argue. They try to prove themselves. They spiral. Stoic response. You don't debate reality. You say calmly, "I don't agree, let's leave it there." And you stop engaging. No explaining. No proving. no emotional escalation. Gaslighting fails when you refuse the courtroom. Scenario 2, silent treatment. She disappears to punish you. Most men panic. They double text. They apologize for things they didn't do. Stoic response. Silence is information. You don't chase. You don't confront. You continue your life. Your career, your friends, your hobbies, your fitness, all remain untouched by her absence. When she returns, you don't reward the behavior with excitement. You respond, neutral, grounded. Silence only works on men who fear being alone. The Stoic isn't afraid. Scenario 3, playing the victim. She flips the script. Suddenly you're the bad guy. Stoic response. You don't defend against false guilt. You say, "I hear you," and nothing more. Victim manipulation dies when it doesn't get emotional fuel. The more you resist the temptation to justify, explain, or argue, the faster she loses her control. 5. The Stoic rule of boundaries. Here's the truth most men avoid. Boundaries are not words. They're behavioral consequences. You don't say, "I don't like this." You say nothing and remove access. Stoic men don't threaten. They adjust. Less availability, less emotional investment, more focus on their own life. That's when respect either returns or the dynamic ends. Both outcomes are wins. The point, boundaries are a living thing. They aren't for proving strength to her. They're for protecting your own energy. 6. Why emotional distance triggers narcissistic people. This part is important. Narcissistic behavior thrives on emotional supply. Your reactions validate their control. When you become emotionally self-contained, they feel ignored, and they feel powerless, and they escalate tactics. This is where most men fail. They see escalation and think, "I need to fix this." Number. Escalation means the strategy is working. Your calm becomes their mirror. If she amplifies manipulation and you stay composed, she eventually realizes the storm no longer controls the boat. And nothing frustrates a manipulator more than a man with his own center. 7. The Stoic pull-away done correctly. Let's clarify something. Pulling away is not ghosting. It's not punishment. It's not a tactic. It's self-respect in motion. You pull away because you notice disrespect. You noticed manipulation. You value peace. And here's the key. You don't announce it. You simply become less available, emotionally and physically. Energy follows value. Focus follows calmness. And you never beg for attention. You've already earned internally. 8. What happens when you stop playing the game? 2 outcomes always happen. Outcome 1. Respect returns. She adjusts. She becomes softer. She tests less. Why? Because your frame became solid. Outcome 2. She exits. She leaves. She calls you cold. She labels you emotionally unavailable. That's fine. A woman who needs control cannot stay with a man who controls himself. And a man who values himself doesn't need to chase anyone's approval. Both outcomes protect your integrity. 9. The Stoic mindset that makes you unmanipulatable. Here's the core mindset shift. You stop seeking emotional validation from women. Not because you're bitter, but because you're complete. Your peace doesn't depend on attention. Your confidence doesn't depend on approval. Your value doesn't depend on reaction. Manipulation only works on men who need something emotionally. Stoic men want connection, but don't require it. They allow relationships to be natural, not forced. And once you operate from that state, everything changes. Conversations no longer feel like traps. Tests no longer feel personal. Decisions feel grounded, not reactive. 10. Final reality check. Let me say this clearly. Stoicism won't make everyone like you. It won't make manipulative people stay. It won't guarantee outcomes. What it does give you: emotional authority, internal control, respect from yourself first. And once you have that, manipulation loses its grip. Your reactions become your power. Your calmness becomes your shield. Your frame becomes your fortress. If this hits something you've experienced, you're not alone. This channel is about mastering emotional discipline, a dating psychology, boundaries, respect, stoic control in modern relationships. Subscribe if you want clarity instead of confusion, strength instead of reaction, control instead of chaos. And remember, the man who controls himself can never be controlled by manipulation.